सा बैटिंग दोगे क्या?
हमको भी एक चांस दीजिए ना सर।
Dhoni finishes off in style, a magnificent strike into the crowd.
Hi, you're on Indiatoday.in, and we have the man Sushant Singh Rajput with us today, who's going to be essaying MS Dhoni in the upcoming biopic. So, what do you feel about MS Dhoni, the man off the pitch?
No, that's very interesting, and he's got a very peculiar way of thinking, and that's why I'm making a film on him. Yeah.
So, like your roots are in Patna.
Yeah.
Dhoni's roots are in Ranchi.
Yeah.
And, you know, both of you, in a certain way, are outsiders, you know, like you're an outsider to Bollywood that way. You don't have any link.
Yeah.
And Dhoni, again, he does not have anything to do with cricket. Like, he didn't have anything to do before he came in. So, like, you know, how have these similarities somewhere helped you in getting your character, getting into your character?
Of course, I mean, like, there are things that you understand, and that's why you can portray it. You don't know what you don't know. So, yeah, understanding that nothing else matters except two things, if you call that a success, is dreaming big, and there's no need of any logical thing that can substantiate that dream. But you need to be somehow completely certain about it. That's going to happen. And the moment you do it, you are not debating over it now. You have forgotten about it. It's done. You come back here and you start doing something that completely gets your attention. So whatever thing that excites you, because there is nothing else that excites you. You'll continue doing the same thing again and again. People say that you're hardworking. But you don't consider it's working hard.
It's a part of your being now.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that you can think of. So you do it over a period of time, you become so good that you reach that goal, but that is not the drive, actually. So you first give yourself that room, make it that a stadium, and then you hit that six because you like hitting.
So, one thing about Dhoni you don't like?
I don't have many opinions, so I cannot counter his opinions.
Okay.
But whatever his style of thinking is, in general context, what we consider success, and to follow it up with slightly, peaceful way of thinking, not getting swayed by it, or if you get slightly fidgety because you want to hold on to everything that you have now earned, respect-wise and money-wise, then you start screwing it up, decisions, but so all these things. So going by that, there are things that he does that will get you wherever you want to reach. And at the same time, after being there, he's again not concerned about the next goal or to sustain this, but he's doing the same thing that he has been doing since his school time. So he doesn't take himself seriously. He takes this game very seriously because that's what he likes. So that thing, and then he has got like 5-6 different rights, of definite wrongs, definite priority, and rest of it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So yeah, so going by this, well, you're sorted in your life.
And one thing about you that he doesn't like?
I've never asked him. I don't want to ask him. He liked the film, yeah.
Okay. And he liked you the way you've done it in the film, like played him in the film.
If I am wrong, then the film cannot survive.
Take off, yeah. So, how much did being with Dhoni's family help you in getting into the character? You've spent quite some time with his family, right?
It's like developing a skill. So you don't know what actually works. It's like if I ask you that how did you pick up a language, you won't have an answer to it. You would just say that, oh, maybe I'll just listen for first 3 years, and then one day started speaking it. So after that, you try to just logically explain it. But till then, there is nothing that you can put your finger on
You're
and
just
say that
living
this
in
is.
the moment.
You
So,
need to be
yeah.
completely immersed, and
Hmm.
it should excite you.
Hmm.
It should be comprehensible. So yeah, so you just do everything that you can think of, so that you cultivate a skill, cricketing skill, and then you watch videos again and again. You hear his audios, you talk to him, you talk to your director to understand the script, you talk to everybody he has hung out with, and to make sure that the first day of the shoot, in your head, I might not be convincing when you watch the film. That's your opinion. But in my head, I should be him
Yeah.
somehow. So yeah.
So that's like this. Where does this line blur? You know, when you're acting a character, especially when he's there, he's out there, living, breathing, he's right next to you. So where does this line blur? Where Sushant Singh Rajput becomes MS Dhoni?
It's actually, if you identify what differentiates him and define him, and as an actor, you're trained, you have tools to actually know where to work on and how to communicate it. So it's like we act all the time. Everybody acts all the time. So there's something that you know. There's something that you think you know. So that's your perception of yourself. And then it's an outside perception that I would think something else of you. So that's my reality. You're a different person altogether. And then when we interact, so you don't interact the same way with me
As
and with your friend.
Yeah.
Because there is something that you think that he might be
There's a
thinking,
fence somewhere,
and
yeah.
this is something that I want to project. So we act all the time. It's just that we actors act on command in front of the camera. We get paid for it.
So, like as a child growing up in Patna, how much of cricket have you played?
A lot, but I was not very good at it, unfortunately. Yeah. But then I thought I was good. But I didn't have the skill. I couldn't make it to my school team also. But I was a follower of the game. And
You're still
yeah, I used to follow it a lot.
devourer of the game.
But for this film, I got this opportunity. I used to get MS kit. All the Dhoni kits were there. And so I did a training of 1 year. So in those places where these professional players play. And Kiran More was ex-India wicketkeeper, one of the finest we had. He trained me. And so there was like a team. So there was an analyst also who would break down his shots. And I would analyze, he would analyze, he would tell me exactly when to do what. Then there was a bowling machine, you could fix the ball at one point, and I would play the same shot again and again for like, God knows, 200 times a day. But I used to enjoy it. Also because I used to enjoy cricket, and also because as an actor, these are the things that you actually, as I said, tools. These are the tools. If in my head, I've become a better cricketer, I've started seeing the ball better, and the shots are like reaching distance, in my head, I can convince myself that I'm a cricketer.
You've done it.
Yeah.
So how long did it take for you to master the helicopter shot?
Every shot was being worked on at the same time. After the first 3-4 months were not his style. So Kiran Moore told me that basics of cricket, so that you feel like a cricketer. Also, when somebody looks at you, he should think that you're a professional. And after you get the basics right, so it happened after 4 months, where the analyst would come and then we would, so all the shots that he's known for.
A signature style.
So it's everything, because he's got a different way of playing shots. So you would identify what is the difference, and then you do it again and again to a point that you start doing it like that.
So yeah, like again, Ranchi and Patna, the accents are different, right? The way you talk is different in Ranchi and it's different in Patna.
The thing is that the first 10 years I was there, then 10 years I was in Delhi, the 10 years has been Bombay. So it's not that, but and it doesn't take a lot. I mean,
to master the accent.
For master you need to completely immerse yourself to a point that it becomes a habit. But to know or identify the accent, just YouTube and you'll get to know what's the accent. So as an actor, we are supposed to do all these things. There's nothing that, He's worked his accent also. We are supposed to do it. Now it's highlighted because we already know the result, how it should be. We have an opinion. But the mannerisms and the playing style and the way he talks, intonations and all, we have a reference. So I cannot fool you there as an actor.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis a fictional character that I can do anything and
exactly.
be very, very convincing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Do you think it's actually hard to play a person who's right there than a person who does not exist, say a fictional character? That way?
if you have audience in mind while preparing and shooting for the film, then very important. If you're not thinking about them, but if that's what you like, or if you like cricket, so you like cricket, so you're playing for the school team, you'll play the same way. There's a definite shot when the ball hits the sweet point. There's a sound that you can hear. It's a very sweet sound. So after you hear that sound, there is a feeling that you get. Wow! So it will happen even when you are playing for your school, and even when you're playing for your country. So it doesn't mean that now people are watching, so I should
It's
be
just
doing.
from the gut.
Well, from inside. So it's the same thing. Acting is the same thing. So if you have the audience, I'm not saying it's wrong. It might work for you. But if you don't have audience in mind, like right now, I want people to come and watch it, because if they have a similar experience that I've had in the film and it resonates, you feel good. But it's a different experience. It's not because I'm an actor that I'm experiencing it. It's a different experience. We can do it. You can be an engineer, I can be a doctor. And if I'm feeling something and you understand that and resonate that, I'll feel good.
Yeah.
So that's a different thing. And also because somebody has put in money and
the effort and the hard work.
No, money in the sense of saying producer.
Yeah.
No matter the intention, that they want to promote a good film, it's a story that needs to be told. But of course, it's a business, so you need to break even and then make some profit. So it's a requirement that people should come and watch the film. But it's not the why of me of becoming the actor.
Do you think it's too early to have a biopic on Dhoni?
No, if you have a story to tell, I'll make a. If I know how to do it, I can make a film on a Ranji player. If there is something that you want to say.
Say 20 years down the line, if you were asked to make another biopic on Dhoni, factoring in the things that have happened in these 20 years from now, will you do that?
Why not? If there's again something fresh, if there are 3 directors working on him, of course the events would be same, but we can have 3 different stories.
True.
The place from where we are looking at things.
So what made you choose acting as a career?
You actually you define the reason post you experience something. So after I did it, I wanted to know why I want to do it. So I would tell myself that maybe because normal life I'm not very, very good in communication, and so I was an introvert. I'm still an introvert.
You were very shy.
Yeah, I'm still like that. There's nothing has changed after becoming an actor. But what happens is that there is a vent. There is a place where I completely express. I'm fooling myself at the same time.
Yeah,
saying
it's
that
not you.
It's not me.
Yeah.
But it's coming from inside.
It's an outlet.
Yeah. So that's the reason. It's like getting hooked to something that you cannot just let go.
So also among your parents, I've read this at several places, you were close to your mother.
Yeah.
You lost her at a very young age.
Yeah.
So what do you think, would she have been, obviously she would have been very happy to see you succeed this way.
Yeah.
So do you miss her?
Of course you miss her, but it also does and these things normally, we think that these things, we have a tendency to think that it won't happen to us. It's there, you have the idea of death and all, but how many times do you entertain that only inevitable thing that you are sure of that is going to happen with you? How many times do you entertain it?
Never.
You don't. So that's what I'm saying. So it's a tendency to think that it won't happen. But when it does happen, then you understand, you feel it, and that's why you understand that the impermanence of everything.
I think first it's the denial, right? Like it can't be happening to me.
True.
And
But
then,
then after
yeah.
that, since you are in a habit of making sense all the time, at least to yourself, so you understand the impermanence of everything. So then things don't affect you that much. Yeah.
So is that why, like, all these negativity around your personal life, is that why you have been so tight-lipped? You know, it's this dignified silence that you don't
Yeah,
entertain.
because I don't get
Yeah.
affected by it. People assume that actors work for fame. So we are starting from something that we are assuming. So assuming that actors work for fame, and since he's talked about in a negative way, so he must not be liking it. But we need to understand that we have already made some assumption.
Yeah.
If I don't work for fame, you give it to me, I'll keep it.
You might work for just satisfaction.
I'm not saying that money and fame, if you give it to me, I'll keep it. But it doesn't affect me in any way. I've seen it because money was a big differentiator when I was growing up. Now I have that much that I don't want to think about it.
Also, like we've seen celebs who actually have come back to Twitter right before film promotions. With you, it's been the other way around. You've quit Twitter because of all these negativity, because people were reading too much into your posts and all of that.
Yeah, so that started happening, that they would assume. But again, I was not affected because what I think about myself, I need to be very sure. I need to take myself slightly lightly. These are my things. But what you think of me is your problem.
Yeah.
If you are, say you are inspired, whatever, you're happy, you tell me, I would listen to it and I would, oh, because of this. So I'll probably, as I said, if you understand what I did, then there is a resonance. So I'll feel happy for a few seconds. But if you somehow you're negative about me, not that I have anything against you, but that's your problem, that's your reality, you need to deal with it. In my head, I have no problem. I'm just experiencing things.
Also, the last thing, can you do a helicopter shot without a bat for us?
I can do a helicopter shot in hockey, in football, in a helicopter. So I'm trained for it now.
Okay. That was Sushant Singh Rajput for India Today. Thank you.